Hotep Senu, Hena Senut, Iti, Ren Isha Kandugu Kemet. Hope you're doing well, brothers and sisters. We have Nestle Merat in the place to be. Now, thank you for tuning in. Dua. I was going through some Medu, and I was inspired to share with you a very short sentence that some people use. Now, before I go on tell you what it is, I'm not claiming that you will find this sentence on the glyphs, on the papyri, on the stele. But this is a direct translation. We first have the word Heru, and you probably know Heru as the son of Aset, or Isis as the Greeks called her, and also the son of Usir or Osiris as the Greeks called him, or should I say as the Greeks pronounced his name. But once again, the determinatives help us to avoid being confused when we have homonyms. This word Heru stands for day. Then we have another word that you have heard me say plenty of times. Henna. And lastly, we have Gere. And Gere stands for night. So this very short sentence literally says day and night. Heru, Henna, Gere. I represent Heru, Henna, Gere. That's something that we can say. Some people are lying. Heru, Henna, Gere. Now, I will not be live streaming for long. So feel free if you have any questions, statements, comments, by all means, feel free. There were two things I wanted to mention. I don't remember only one of them. The one I remember, I just found out today that in China, I read about this, I did not verify it. They avoid using the number four because it is a homonym with their word for either death or dying. And it makes me think about the Medu Necher, the Medu Necher, because there is a glyph that is used to actually avoid putting in writing some something that is considered negative. Of course, I'm in no way trying to say that in China they were inspired by how they used to do in Kemet. I'm just seeing a similarity. I'm not saying a correlation, but a similarity. Now, as for the Medunecher, because I don't remember the other thing I wanted to mention. It escapes me. Well, Nestle Merat says, and I forgot to. He said, yeah, they don't use four. Now, as for the Medunecher, we have seen quite a fair bit of words so far. Now, it's not like with the lessons or the class, but it's still so far so good. We know how to say brothers and sisters. We know how to say thanks. We know how to say peace. We know how to say deities or gods. And we can say it also in the singular form. And many times you hear me saying the word for brother and the word for sister, singular form. Now, there are a fair bit of other words that we have went through. One of the word for Asiatics, one of the word that denotes Nubia or Sudan. So really, we went through a few, but that's only phonetically. We have Magi Commander, Hotep, Zen, but it's good. So far, so good. Now, it says free talk. So by all means, if there's anything else you want to talk about, then feel free. And like I was saying, it's not going to be a long one, but feel free. I wish I would remember what I wanted to say. It wasn't something long, really. So let me know what's on your mind, brothers and sisters. I'm doing well. I'm doing Nefer. I'm doing Nefer. That's another word. And of course, in the name Nefertiti, where we have the root Nefer. Nefer is like the Swahili Nzuri. Can be used for pretty or handsome if it's a man, pretty if it's a woman, and it can mean good as well, just like Nefer. Now the feminine will be Neferet, but that can stand either for pretty or handsome in Medu Necher as well. Thank you for whoever put some thumbs up. It's appreciated. Hmm. So, no questions, brothers and sisters? Radio 1 wrote Peace Shaka. The people they call black Moors were really Ethiopians in the deep south. Oh, well, the thing with the term Moor is that it was used over a long period of time, but it's a lot of people think that Moor was a term that was used kind of universally or in a universal manner and consistent manner. But I think the oldest use was to refer to a particular group of people. But later on, it was used primarily to denote Muslims. But my question will be, what is the oldest? I don't know if you can hear that background noise. It's a lot of wind. My question will be, what's the oldest attestation of a Moor, a black person, describing himself as a Moor and calling another black man a Moor? What's the oldest reference of that? Nestle Merat has joined us. Hotep Sen. Oh, I
Sagilamos,
don't.
man.
Eh. Ah, nous là, mon cher. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, man, for
Thanks for
sure,
calling.
man. No thing. Yeah, yeah. So, how's the family, man?
All right. They are both
Uh,
sleeping.
oh
Now,
yeah,
yeah.
it's already night. I keep forgetting, man. You're in France, and
Yes.
it's
Yes.
already night.
Yes. It's like in 2 minutes it will be 10 p.m.
Oh wow,
Mm. I mean,
wow.
honestly, I miss my son, because my first child was from a previous relationship. But the let me look for that word in if I want to know the word in English. Oh, all of a sudden it's not working there. Hold on. One word that I like you every time you want to look for something. But let's say the person that brought him, the person that gave birth to him, decided to go overseas for holidays during the school period. So he's missing school and he's missing the rest of his family.
Oh,
And that's been going on
okay.
since January. So it's been going on since January. So, and but I've talked about this before. I've spent months without seeing him before because here the law,
So how old
not
is
really the. He's 6 years old. He's 6 years old. So, but that's what it is. I mean, at least I can talk to him every now and
son?
then. But yes, yes, my son. It actually was cutting up. So it was cutting up. So it was breaking up. So I did not really hear everything. I only heard sound at the end. So, okay, can you try to speak again to
Oh,
see
I,
if
I
it
asked
works
you.
better
I
now?
asked you how old is your son?
Yeah, he's 6 years old. He's 6 years old.
Oh, okay. So it's a big
Yeah.
boy, man. You're getting there.
Mm, yeah. So no, I haven't seen him since mid January. And I don't know when he will return. But hey,
Yeah, man. It's a wow.
mm,
Um, I had a question that I wanted to ask you. So
hmm
I always got the weird questions. So where? where in Haiti your family's from? What's their background?
Mm. Well, um, they will be from Akin and Côte de Fer,
Oh,
but
okay, yeah,
yes, but they they used to have a house in Carrefour.
Carrefour, Port-au-Prince.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So you ever been in Haiti, man?
Yeah, I've been a few times, most of the time when I was a child. And the last time that was late 2009. I actually left shortly before the earthquake. And then I
Yeah.
went to Florida. So uh I was surprised because actually, well, I used to go like every 2 to 3 years or so, maybe 4 years.
Oh,
I mean, I
okay.
have pictures. I was a baby, I've I don't even have any memories. But when I went the last time, it was 10 years since I didn't go, you see. And
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked to find out there were no more Juna.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
don't know, are you familiar with Juna?
Familiar with
The drink called Juna.
Gina?
That
Yeah,
was,
yeah, man.
yeah,
Gina, man.
yeah.
It's like
Oh, it's breaking up again. It's breaking up again.
a
Can't hear.
plastic bottle.
Yeah, and I used to like it. I mean, he kind of had a little sour taste at the end, but while you're drinking it, it was very refreshing. It was light, and it's like my childhood. It's like chiclette. And they
Yeah.
told me, yeah, they told me no, there's no more Juna now. It's Tampico. But Tampico is just too much sugar. Too much sugar. It's just a bit too thick. It's not as refreshing as Juna was, but
No,
um,
no, not at all, man.
mm,
And so you said you live in Florida as well. You spent some time in Florida.
well, I wasn't living there, but I spent a little while actually, with some family. But when I used to go on holidays in America, I would go to Florida. Yeah, so I have some
Oh,
people
so
I have some people in Northwest Miami, and I have some people in Fort Myers.
okay. Yeah, so I was trying to figure out where did you learn English because this is like the third language that you have now, and it sounds like you're
Mhm.
pretty talented with language in general because you'd be saying words and you'd be saying one or two words from other language like Arabics and some of those other languages and stuff. You sound really gifted with language because I can tell you it's really difficult to speak to speak multiple languages because you speak three.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Actually,
me,
mm. Go ahead, brother.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I speak like about two and a half because I'm still lazy about French. Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm still lazy about French. Like sometimes
Mm,
my French, I'll take the time and refresh it, refine it, and then I'll use it, and it'll be fresh, and then I just don't use it, and then I just very inconsistent with French. So, but I'll hear all the stuff in French for sure. But then
mhm,
I'll lack the response for a lot of things. But then I'll hear conversation and everything that I need to hear in French.
mm. Well,
Yeah.
really, for any Haitian or Haitian Creole speaker, I mean, we tend to say Creole, period, but there are other languages that are called Creole as well. But
Yeah.
for any speaker of Creole, learning French should not be difficult because there's a lot of
Easy.
French. It's like deformed French in some way. So whenever you take the
Mhm.
time, you get the gist of it, and indeed a lot of Haitians kind of
Exactly.
understand when French speakers speak, but there are a lot of what we call, I don't know the name in English, but we call it fake friends. It's an expression they have in French to say like some words some word that is used in French and it can be used in Creole as well, but they don't have the same meaning. And but for the English, I actually lived in England for some years, and that's the reason why I'm fluent in English. And
Okay.
yes, that's the reason why. And
Okay.
we have Radio One. Hey,
Radio
what's
One.
up, brother?
Yeah, so what's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, brother. How you doing?
Oh yes, great, great. I'm doing good. Yes, yeah, I decided I call in early because I know you want to make this a short one. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I want to definitely touch on this, on this subject that we are the Moors, and the Moors. Okay, but a lot of people like Lord Abba. Okay,
Hmm.
like he teaches a pseudo version for the history of the Moors. Okay. Now we all know with these, with these Islamic and religious guys, there's always a catch. There's always a interference, that stops the truth from coming out. Okay. We know with Afro-Asiatic, he likes to say that we are the Kushites, but the only catch is he's mixing it with Arabian, you know, with a he's trying to mix it with Arabia and like trying to mix it with like trying to mix the truth with falsehood. And that's the problem with these guys. Like Lord Abba, he tries to teach black people that are the Moors, but at the same time he's saying that we come from the Moors come from Moab, the biblical Moab, and the Moors are linked to the Canaanites, which makes no sense. So but when these guys see me, they get scared because they know that I deal with the truth. Yeah, because they know that I deal with the real sources. So yeah, but the origin of these people called the Moors, okay, they lived in the northernmost part of West Africa or North Africa, which is Morocco. And yeah, and peace to the brother not Nestle Marat. Yeah,
Mm. You had to
yeah.
leave. You had to
Oh,
leave. He sent me a
okay,
message. Yes, yes.
okay.
Mm.
But
But brother, regarding what you said about the Moors, really, it's the same as with the other uh, Abrahamic belief system. And I usually ask for records because
yes,
they usually use their theological writing, and the Moors tend to do the same and rely on what Drew Ali wrote. You see,
yes.
so
Mm,
indeed they claim that we are more bites and so on, but I mean they claim so many things. But historically, it will be interesting. It will be very interesting. I mean, when it comes to, for example, the Hebrew Israelites, then the thing that we hear most of the time is the so-called mention of Israel. And
yes,
at the end of the day, I mean, even if there was um, a written record, I mean, there is a written record that will mention Israel, but how old it is the first question. But those people in Canaan, what makes them say they were black people? You see, that's
yeah, yeah,
and it's the same with the Arabs and so on. But they they use something that is accepted by the masses, even though it's an issue of um, of religion mainly. Now we have
yeah,
Majai Commander who mentions Drusilla D. Houston, but if she just wrote that they were black, she's not the only one who said that.
yeah.
But I
Mm,
have some depictions of those people. I don't have a lot
yeah,
for Arabia, but throughout all these area, the Semites, You know, from like 2000 BC up to our recent time, they were definitely not black. You see, so once again, if people want to argue blackness of these Semites 50,000 years ago, I don't deal with those dates. But I wish our people would just wake up and either realize that those Semites were not black, once again from 2000 BC onwards, or they will need to make demonstration of the blackness. I mean, you probably heard on Radio One that now they're trying to argue that these Asiatics depicted on the walls, they're trying to pass them off as black people just because they have a little tan. You know?
Yeah. Oh man. Do you mind if I share my screen right quick?
Of course,
I,
no, I
I
don't
just
mind at
want to.
all.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead,
want
man.
to. I'm gonna because I want to show the origin of these people called the Moors.
Yes,
Okay.
of course, brother, of course. But
Yeah.
just while you do that, do people know who Lao Shu is? Because Majai Commander wrote that someone called Lao Shu passed away on March 4th. I'm not familiar with that name, so feel free to tell me more, brother. But I see your screen, so here it is. I've shared it.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, do you see that right here? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is from the Roman historian known as Seleucus, and he wrote a book titled Jugurthine, Jugurthine War, and it is dated to the year 80 BCE. And the most interesting thing about this source is it is the first source to ever mention the people called Moors or Mori, and it gives an origin for the people called the Moors. And but the book is based solely on the people called the Numidians. And that's is really based on the Numidians because the book titled the Jugurthine War is referred to the Numidian king, the king of Numidia, Jugurtha. And yeah, and this took place around the first century BCE. And and he writes that I'm going to give a little story. And he says here, okay, Seleucus, the Jugurthine War, okay, chapter 17, and he says, in quote, my subject seems to require of me in this place a brief account of the situation of Africa and those nations in it with whom we had war or alliances, but of those tracts and countries which from their heat or difficult access or extent of desert have been but little visited, I cannot possibly give any exact description. Of the rest, I shall speak with all possible brevity. Okay, and it says here, in a division of the earth, most writers consider Africa as a third part, and few admit only two divisions, Asia and Europe, and include Africa in Europe. It is bounded on the west by the strait connecting our sea with the ocean, and on the east by a vast sloping tract which the natives call the Katabathmos. The sea is boisterous and deficient in harbors. The soil is fertile in corn and good for pasturage, okay, but unproductive of trees. There is a scarcity of water both from rain and land springs, okay. Then it says here, the natives are healthy, swift of foot, and able to endure fatigue. Most of them die by gradual decay of age, except such as perish by the sword or beasts of prey. For disease finds but few victims. Animals of a venomous nature they have in great numbers. Okay, and then it says here, okay, um, concerning the original or origin or concerning the original inhabitants of Africa, the settlers that afterward joined them, and the manner in which they intermingled, I shall offer the following brief account, which, though it differs from the general opinion, is that which was interpreted for me from the Punic volumes said to have belonged to King Himsal. okay, in which the inhabitants of that country believed to be consistent with fact. For the truth of the statement, however, the writers themselves must be responsible. So he's saying here that his account is coming from the Punic writings, which is the Carthaginians or the Phoenicians, and that's what Punic stands for, Phoenician, and and it says here, okay, I'm gonna go straight to it, okay. It says here in chapter 18, okay, the Jugurtha War. Africa then was originally occupied by the Gautilians and Libyans, rude and uncivilized tribes who subsisted on the flesh of wild animals, or like cattle on the herbage of the soil. They were controlled neither by customs, laws, nor the authority of any ruler. They wandered about without fixed habitation and slept in the abodes to which night drove them. But after Hercules, as the African thinks, perished in Spain, his army, which was composed of various nations, having lost its leader and many candidates severally claiming the command of it, was speedily dispersed. Of its constituent troops, the Medes, Persians, and Armenians, having sailed over into Africa, occupied the parts nearest to our sea, which is the Mediterranean Sea. The Persians, however, settled more towards the ocean, or the Atlantic Ocean, and used the inverted keels of their vessels for huts. Okay, so it's saying here that I'm going to stop it there, but it's saying here that speaking of a migration of Persians and Medes who lived during the time of the mythical Hercules, and it's saying that these Persians and Medes were in the army of Hercules, and after Hercules died, they migrated from Spain into Africa. Okay, and it says here, okay, I'm going to skip down here, and it says the Medes, okay, right here, I'm going to highlight it, okay, yeah, this part right here, okay, so you can see it, and then I'm going to post it up some more, okay, and it says here, where is it? Okay, the Medes.
Radio, are you sharing your screen?
Yes, can you see it?
No.
Yes, it is on the screen. It is.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back over to the YouTube feed because I can't see it here in the room.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
Yeah, and it says here, okay, the Medes and Armenians connected themselves with the Libyans, who dwelled near the African Sea, which is the Mediterranean, while the Gautilians lay more to the sun, not far from the torrid heats in the interior. And these soon built themselves towns, as being separated from Spain only by a strait. They proceeded to open an intercourse with its inhabitants. The name of the Medes, the Libyans gradually corrupted, changing it in their barbarous tongue into Moors. Okay, so it's saying here that the ancestors of the Moors were some Asiatics from Spain. Okay, and they lived right across from Spain in Morocco, which the northern part of Morocco. Okay, this is the home of the Moors. Okay, and then it goes on to say here of the Persians. Well, I'm not going to read all that, but that's speaking on the ancestors of the Numidians. So, but yeah, if you want to go read it yourself, you can go to Seleucus Jugurtha War. I'll put the link in the chat as well. You can go read it yourself. But yeah, this is the origin of the Moors. Okay, and but I'm going to read the next part here. Okay, because I want to focus on the Moors here. Okay, and it says here. Okay, we're going to skip over that, and it gives a little geography here, and it says here in Seleucus Jugurtha War, chapter 19, and it says here next to the Cotobathmos, then which divides Egypt from Africa. Okay, saying Africa is really Libya, but but that's what it's saying here. Egypt is in Africa, but I don't but Seleucus decided to divide Egypt from Africa, which is not true. But yeah, but it says here, next to the Katabathmos, then which divides Egypt from Africa, the first city along the seacoast is Cyrene, a colony of Therians or Greeks, after which are the two Syrtes with Leptis between them. Then the altars of the Phileni, which the Carthaginians considered the boundary of their dominion on the side of Egypt. Beyond these are the Punic towns. The other regions, as far as Mauritania, the Numidians occupy. The Moors are nearest to Spain, okay? To the south of Numidia, as we are informed, are the Gatilians, of whom some live in huts, and others lead a vagrant and less civilized life. Beyond these are the Ethiopians, and further on, regions parched by the heat of the sun. Okay, now, we see here, did you see the part where it said the Moors, right here, the Moors are nearest to Spain. Okay, so the original Moors were in the extreme north part of the western part of Africa. Okay, they live near Spain. Okay, they were not the people in the south. And it says here the people in the south, okay, and he says here, okay, remember, to the south of Numidia, as we are informed. Let me highlight it. To the south of Numidia, as we are informed, are the Gatilians. Okay, and this is talking about the interior of the Sahara Desert. Okay, that's what it's talking about. But it says here, to the south of Numidia, as we are informed, are the Gatilians, of whom live in huts, and others lead a vagrant and less civilized life. And it says, beyond these, okay, beyond these, farther south, are the Ethiopians. Okay, so it's saying here that the people to the far south were the Ethiopians. Okay, and later on, later in history, they tried to call these people the Black Moors, but they were always Ethiopians. And when I say the Black Moors, they try to call the people of like Mauritania and Senegal the Black Moors, but they were never really Moors, because the Moors originally did not live in this southern part of Africa or of West Africa, and that's where the confusion comes in, and the reason, and I believe the main reason is to disconnect West Africans and African Americans from their ancient Kemetic Kushite origin. And I'm going to show here that the origin of the Ethiopians, okay? And I'm going to be brief, and then I'm going to, I just wanted to show that. And let's see here. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, and very brief, okay? I'm just going to go straight to it so that I won't have to spend all day on it, okay? And it says here, and this account here is from Strabo, and he's given an origin for the Western Ethiopians. Okay, and he says here, Strabo, Strabo, book 1, chapter 2, okay, paragraph 26. And he says here, okay, let me bulk it up some more. Paragraph 26. And he says here, okay, I'm going to go straight to it. And he says, furthermore, yeah, okay. And he says, furthermore, Ephorus mentions still another ancient tradition, and it is not unreasonable to believe that Homer also heard it. Ephorus says the Tartessians report that Ethiopians overran Libya as far as Dyrus, okay? And it says here, and that some of them stayed in Dyrus while others occupied a great part of the seaboard. And he conjectures it was from this circumstance that Homer spoke as he did Ethiopians that are sundered in twain, the farthermost of man. Okay. And when it's of Dyrus, okay, Dyrus is referring to the regions of Atlas and south of the Atlas Mountains, okay, which is south, pretty far south from Morocco. And it says here also, yeah, I'm gonna read this right here, okay, and I'm gonna wrap it up soon, okay. And it says here, Strabo, book 17, chapter 3, paragraph 2, okay. Here dwell a people whom the Greeks call Marusians, and the Romans and natives Mari, a large and prosperous Libyan tribe. Okay, he calls them Libyan tribe. Okay, this is why there's a distinction between Libyan and Ethiopian. It says a large and prosperous Libyan tribe who live on the side of the strait opposite Iberia. Okay, it's saying here, Strabo also saying in Iberia is Spain. So it's saying that he's saying that these people, Mari or the Moors, live near Spain, near the opposite of Spain. And he says, here also is the strait, which is at the pillars of Hercules, concerning which I have often spoken. On proceeding outside the strait at the pillars with Libya on the left, one comes to a mountain which the Greeks call Atlas and the barbarians Dyrus. Okay, so Dyrus is referring to the regions south of Morocco, or south of the Atlas Mountains, from the Atlas Mountains all the way south. And this is what it's saying when it says the Ethiopians overran Libya as far as Dyrus. It's saying that it's another way of saying that the Ethiopians overran Libya as far as the extreme west. Okay. And Dyrus could also be farther south because it's talking about Ethiopia, but it's saying that the regions, the extreme west that the Ethiopians reach, it parallel with the Atlas Mountains. And we know that the Ethiopians, okay, which I won't have time to get off into, but the Ethiopians were originally the southern Egyptians and Cushites. Yes, and I'm going to stop sharing that, okay? And but I just show that to show you that the Moors, the original Moors, were the people in the far north. It had nothing to do with the people in the south. The people in the south were Ethiopians, and it clearly says, according to Strabo, that the Ethiopians came from the east. And we already know, if you do the research, these Ethiopians were southern Egyptians and Cushites, because it is my belief that the southern Egyptians never stopped being Ethiopians. I believe that the southern Egyptians were always Ethiopians. I believe that Egyptian was just a second name for them, and for all you that know the account given by the historian Diodorus Siculus, when he speaks on the origins of Egypt, the Ethiopian origins of Egypt, he says that the Egyptians were a colony of Ethiopians. So
Okay, I'm sorry, brother. Just hold that thought,
oh yeah,
because we have two new callers. So just bear with us, please, brother Radio One.
oh yeah.
We have Majak Commander and brother Kafra who's joined us. So I think Majak Commander arrived first. So greetings, brother. I don't know if you.
Greetings, bro. I don't want to argue this fact. Okay. Listen, I was debating with this cat earlier, and I came across this graph that I'm going to put over in private chat. This is not my field, so I'm not going to deal with it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to show you what I have. Speaking, I wanted to say about the brother, Lau, he passed away. His name is Moses. His name was Moses, and he spoke many languages, bro. He was self-taught in the third. I think I came across,
I actually came across him. I've seen him on YouTube before. I just didn't know his
right,
name. Yes.
right, yeah, man. Yeah, I've been following. I've been following him for like years in the third, and I just wanted to put that out there just in case you guys didn't know, or whatever the case was. Man, he was a good brother. I wish personally that he would have delved more into some of the ancient stuff too. You know what I mean? Um, But that's why I put that out there. Now, let me clear up something. I didn't put the sister out there as far as like for the book to say anything about the Moors and the third. That wasn't for that. That was just me putting the book out there, and I should have clarified that a little bit better. You feeling what I'm saying? So I'm just listening right now, and I'll put in private chat what I was using.
All right, brother, no problem. And brother Kafra, Hotep Sen.
Hotep, Shaka, Hotep to the panel. Glad to be back, man. It's been a
Yep.
while. I've been so busy trying to feed the little ones and trying to take care of the family. I'm sure y'all understand. Um,
Oh yeah.
but Radio One, man. I came in right as you were on the piece.
Yes, brother, you breaking up. You might want to repeat that.
You were addressing the. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear
It's
me?
Yes,
actually
brother.
kind of breaking up. I don't know if maybe you can try to move a little bit, maybe closer to the window, but it's been breaking up badly. But try again, brother. Let's see how it is now.
All right, can y'all hear me?
Right now, yes, we can.
All right, good deal, cool deal. But I was just saying, it's been a while, man, and I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad I finally have a chance to get on and build with y'all brothers. So, like the brother just mentioned, for a minute, I'm just gonna hang back in the cut and just listen. And since Radio One, it was a powerful bill that he was digging into about the Moors, and a question came to me already. And I guess since he was building on it, I guess I can ask him, and I guess we can all build on it. But why is there such a desire or an infatuation with our people to associate with with Moorish and in some cases fabricated Moorish history? Why is it that we are so caught up in trying to identify as Moors when the history doesn't reflect that, doesn't show that? And I guess I'll hang in the cut and just listen in and let y'all brothers build on that.
Oh, yes, brother. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
brother.
I
Yeah.
can hear y'all well.
Yes. The reason is because our people have been fed, years and years of lies and deception, coming from these Islamic and um, Abrahamic faith followers, and 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 it's been going on for so long, since the days of Noble Drew Ali Farad Muhammad. You know, I mean that's we dealing with almost I want to say over 100 years, and some of our people just been living a whole life believing these false teachings because that's what they are. They're false teachings, and just now, recently, we got people, standing up, coming against these false teachings and telling the truth, But back then, there wasn't really nobody going against these teachings, and but now, you now we have a group of brave souls who are stepping up and challenging these teachings, and telling the truth about what's going on. And my reason for bringing up the Moors is, okay, now the Moors were originally a people of northern Morocco, okay, and it is these people whom the Islamic invaders reached after they conquered Egypt, Libya and Algeria, and they reached the far west, which they call the farthest Maghreb, And these are the people that the Islamic Arabs reached and converted to Islam. And it was these Moors who mixed with these Islamic Arabs who went further south into, Senegal and the people along the Niger River, Timbuktu in that area. They went further south and converted these people into Islam. And when the Africans in the south, or the descendants of the Ethiopians, or Negroes, or whatever you want to call them, okay, the black people, when they got converted to Islam, that they became associated with the Moors, and they started being called Black Moors. And that's the only reason why they started being called Black Moors, because these people from the north, okay, which also goes all the way back to the Almoravids, or the Almoravid dynasty in Morocco. And these people went further south and converted, the black people in Senegal and Mali, in that area, and they became associated with Islam, and this is what caused them to be called Black Moors. But they were not originally Moors. The original Moors were in the north. And this is the truth that Lord Abba is not going to tell you, okay? Because, I mean, it's already bad enough that he's trying to say that these black people in West Africa are the Moors, but he makes it even worse and mixes the Moors with the Moabites. And that's why
Right.
when he had he had a debate with the Gorilla Hebrew one time, and he lost that debate because he tried to mix truth with falsehood, and he tried to mix more falsehood with falsehood. And I had a discussion with him. I said, brother, what are you doing? Why are you mixing the Moors, and the people of West Africa with these people, that has nothing to do with each other? And I told him that you would have won the debate if you had just stuck to the truth. And that's why you lost the debate, because, you tried to mix truth with falsehood and more falsehood with falsehood, and you lost. And he said to me, you're right, brother, you're right. But yet he still continued to teach the same false teachings, and continue to deceive our people. Why? Because
Okay.
yeah.
No, go ahead, radio. Go ahead and finish,
Yeah.
bro. I'll say it.
Why? Because he is his mind is corrupted. He's he and a lot of these guys, they anti-Kemet, and that's why this belief that African Americans are the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites is just an interference to replace our Kemetic origins. Okay, now when it speaks of people coming from the east in West Africa, the east is talking about the Nile Valley. It's not talking about Israel or Canaan or Yemen.
Yeah.
Okay, it's talking
Yeah.
about the Nile Valley, and those Asiatic origins replace the Kemetic and Kushite origins for West Africans. And yeah, you can go here, brother.
Okay. Now, this is my thing. I don't, and this is no disrespect to Sarnetta's camp or or anybody of that nature, but I tend to go back to the source, or deal with our master teachers on this issue. And from what I'm understanding from Mahinga John Henry Clark, okay, where he stated that more or less the Africans and Arabs were a team once upon a time, and that whole Moorish situation was between the Arab and the African, and they conquered Spain. Speaking of one, he was talking about Tariq Benazad when he spoke mostly on that subject, right? And he was, and I like I said, I don't want to go too into it because it's really not my field. But what I understand is he was saying that someone was describing him as being, actually dark. And we talk about black as ink. You understand what I'm saying? Like this was the description. So uh the I'm not gonna say that the Moors were completely African. I can't do that. But if we take that situation apart like that, we're like saying that North Africa has actually had a different type of people in it if we separate it like that. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it. And that's not true itself. This is why these people are claiming that North Africa is Caucasian or Arab or whatever the case is, and that's not true at all. You know what I mean?
All right. And brothers, we have a new caller um called General Attila, with what looks like a Native American in the profile picture. Greetings, feel free to speak.
Bonjour. Now,
Bonjour.
let me ask one.
Okay, this is dear brother Alquan. He knows why I don't want to have him on. He's been he's been quite disrespectful, and I told him that I don't feel like having him on. I don't have anything against you, brother Alquan. Besides you making live stream, dissing me and other people, and I'm not mad at you, but I don't really feel like having you on. You can understand, you can understand. So keep going, brothers. Keep going.
Yeah, I pass it back to Radio One on that issue, man.
Yeah.
Oh yes, 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 and and that's this this truth. It's already there. It just has to be entertained, and when it be entertained, it has to be entertained by an honest authority. Because these Islamic Muslims, and Hebrew Israelites, people of the Abrahamic faith. I mean, I'm sorry, but they're not fit to teach history because they can't tell the truth if their life depended on it.
Yeah, I can attest to that. That's been my experience, and I think partly because a lot of them see their holy book as a historical book, and that is their major flaw.
Yes, yes, and to make it even worse, they don't even stick to the history, or to the accuracy of their own book, because they want to put themselves in there as being descendants of the actual people who wrote the book, and in order to do that, they got to create some more falsehood, just like the Hebrew Israelites, they gotta go outside of the Bible to prove that they are the Israelites, and that's why they can't stay within the Bible to prove that. And the same for an African trying to claim to be a descendant of Muhammad or be a descendant of Yemen. They have to go outside of the Quran to prove that. And I mean, and these people, it's like they become so fascinated by these religions, you know, it goes beyond just following the religion. They want to become it. It goes beyond following Islam. They want to become the Arab now. And it goes beyond following the Bible, or they want to become the Israelite or of the seed of Abraham. And it gets and this falsehood it gets worse and worse. And I tell brothers all the time, man. The Hebrew Israelites. Stop trying to steal these people history. This book, this religion, it belongs to those people called the Jews. It's theirs. Why are you trying to steal it?
I'm not just gonna let you just beat up on the Hebrew Israelites like that, bro. I'm not gonna let you do it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go Yeah, go ahead and defend them because they need all the help they can get. Okay. I mean, because I'm not the only one beating them up. I mean, you have other stations, other channels beating them up as well. But it's not all about beating them up. But we just exposing their lies.
Yeah.
And telling the truth. And and it's like, and because of this, when the real truth comes out, people don't care about it. That's why when I try to go over to other platforms, these Hebrew Israelites, when I come on there, they get real quiet, and and some of them listen, but they get real quiet because they know that I'm coming to go against their belief, and I'm coming to tell them the truth. But they 9 times out of 10, they never, they hold on to their lie, and they pay no regard to the truth that I'm teaching, and and I even heard some of them admit that, that that I am telling the truth, and what they believe is wrong, but yet they still continue to be a Hebrew Israelite,
And that, to me, that that is a very dangerous position to be in, because like when you study philosophy, like philosophy, it's basically a discipline that is trying to get you to the point to whereas you're thinking correctly. Like like when you study formal argumentation, when you lay down your formal arguments, and if they don't align up with reality, then by default you have an invalid argument. So, and it's interesting when I have a conversation with these guys, and I present facts, like verifiable facts that go against their beliefs, and like you can almost see the cognitive dissonance. But they have this agenda that they're trying to hold on to, like you said, and even if they agree to the facts, they're going to still hold on to their beliefs, which is a big part of why religion has gotten a bad rap, because you can show somebody facts all day, every day, about how what they believe in is not actually true or does not align with reality, and they'll still hold on to that belief. And it speaks to the dangers of of the possible dangers of religion. I'm not going to say religion is dangerous. I'm not going to make a sweeping statement about that. But when you have a religion that does not involve how to think and how to think correctly, then you have that potential to be hoodwinked. And I think that's what's going on with our people, man. We have this identity issue. We've been having identity issues since we came over here to the West, and we're just grabbing at everything that looks good, sounds good, and smells good.
I mean, yeah. I definitely agree with what you're saying. Because I mean, it took years. Just imagine if we would, if we came at the right time, to tell this truth. It will probably be a whole lot different today. But those guys like Farad Muhammad and Noble Drew Ali, they came during the time when, when our people were vulnerable. When they just got out of slavery. And they introduced this lie to them, and they easily fell for it, because they were vulnerable. It was the only thing being taught to them. They really didn't know anything else. And people reclaiming Kemet, and just starting to know about Kemet. That's recent.
Yeah.
That a lot of that started with Dr. John Henry Clark, and Dr. Yosef
Right.
Ben Yaakov.
That's
You
right.
know,
That's right. Well, I
yeah,
mean, there were many before them that they learned from, but at the same time, bro, like at that time, Noble Drew Ali and um and Elijah Muhammad, they were much needed in the community, bro. I'm just gonna keep that 100. They were needed. I mean, they did clean up a lot of brothers and whatever the case were. You know what I'm saying? So they were necessary. They were necessary. So I mean, I don't jump on them as far as what their purpose was in the community at the time. Now, sometimes you had to graduate, though. You know what I mean? When you see upgrades coming, you have to accept those upgrades and call it a day, bro. You know what I mean? So as far as the Israelites in the third, the Hebrew, all they had to do was like do I would say look at your historical trail. If you can't go back to a certain point, then that means that it's just not there for you, bro, and you need to move on and upgrade. I mean, you keep fighting, you can't fight freaking new chemical and nuclear weapons, you know what I'm saying, with stone and bronze. It's not gonna happen. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yes, yes.
hey, that's the way I look at it. Go ahead, Radio One.
Oh yes,
Sorry.
yes, definitely. Yeah, I definitely feel where you're coming from on that because you know, because for some people, had it not been for these teachings, okay, of Islam and the Bible, they never probably never would have found out about Kemet in ancient Egypt. So it like it went from us being nothing or being nobody, and then and then we were told that we were the Hebrew Israelites and the Moors, and then so it's getting closer and closer to the truth.
Right. And also too, man, and I understand what the brother's saying because I mean we got to think about it. Garvey was a Christian. Brother Malcolm, Malik El Hajj El Shabazz, he was a Muslim. All of the mighty contributors to our people, they had some type of religious persuasion. And like the brother said, the Nation of Islam, they did a lot of good in the community. Brother Noble Drew Ali, he and his organization, they did a lot of good in the community. And I will never try to take anything away from their efforts. Uh, but like the brother said, when you have something that comes along that's much more historically accurate, you gotta update your stuff. You gotta update it. And I think that's the challenge of some of these religions. Because and that's really what I see. When someone mentions more to me, I'm basically I'm basically I'm perceiving that as a religious orientation. Or when someone mentions Hebrew Israelite to me that is a religious orientation. And the problem is a lot of these religions, they have a built-in failure mechanism because they can't update the information. They can't do it, right? It's not like science, because when someone publishes a scientific paper, that's subject to scrutiny and it's subject to change because science has a built-in mechanism where it automatically updates itself when it comes across new information. Religions, and I'm not gonna say all religions, but some of these religions don't have that, which is why a lot of these brothers are stuck in the ancient times,
Hmm.
trying to wait for a savior to come save them, when instead, if they would just approach their religion in a different way, they can realize that, hey, look, maybe this is allegory when we read about the story of Jesus, so that we can use this allegory to save ourselves. But again,
Hmm.
they look at it from a literal perspective and they get caught up, and they don't ever get anything done. So that's definitely a challenge that I see with a lot of these religions out here.
Mhm. And brothers, we had the Kwame Ramesu who came in, and he left, or maybe he lost his connection. But as I was saying, I did say that it will be a short one. I might be live streaming to tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I want to thank all you brothers who were there. I'm just going to let you all make your closing remarks. I will go clockwise, so that will be Radio One with Jack Omenda, and then Brother Kafra, and then we have also Afro Asiatic who's joined us. So please, Brother Radio One, feel free to make your closing remarks. And in the meantime, Brother Kwame Ramisu, feel free to come back. You can just make your closing remarks as well. So go ahead, Brother Radio One.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah. I just want to say, peace to the brothers. Peace to all the brothers on the panel. It's been a pleasure. Building with you brothers and sharing knowledge. And I just want to say, do your research and study the origins of these things instead of just believing what somebody's instead of just believing what somebody is saying today, and or believing what somebody said 100, 200 years ago. Go further back than that. Study the origins of these words and these religions and beliefs, because I believe the reason why they are forcing these genealogies or identities on us, such as the Hebrew Israelite and Moors or whatever, is because they know that we are the true descendants of the ancient Egyptians,
That's a fact.
the ancient Kemites who originated, who gave them their religion, and it took years and years of conquest, and conversion from the Assyrians to the Persians to the Greeks, all the way to the Romans and the Arabs to tear us down, to destroy our civilization, and on top of that, invade our land and occupy our land, and sell us your religion, your religion that originated in Africa in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
and use that to keep your foot and your yoke on our neck, but like I said, this is a new day, and the truth is coming out. People are waking up, and there's nothing the liars can do about it. And on that, I'll end it here. Peace out, brothers, and Hotep.
Peace and
Yeah.
hope. Thank you, Brother Radio One. Now, Brother Majak Commander, please feel free to make your closing remarks.
Okay. I don't have much to say except for Shaka I've been following for a long time, like a very, very long time. And Radio One as well. Um, well, I mean, peace to all the brothers in the chat and the third. But when it comes down to history, the research is there. I don't understand, well, no, I take that back. I do. Most of these cats don't. They can look at the research and dismiss it like it's nothing. Like you want to stay in this bubble in the third. Like I don't get it. It baffles the mind. I kind of sometimes I had to let them be and just let them do what they do. I mean, I fight with them sometimes. Most of the time, I fight with Europeans because they just flat out just love to lie. You know what I'm saying? And I love sharpening my tools on them. So it's like, you know, other than that, brother, I really don't have too much to say. When I come here, I basically come to learn, listen,
Uh,
basically, getting new information, new weapons. So that's basically it. Peace, Hotep to all the brothers in the chat and sisters. If there's someone in the chat outside, I can't see the outside chat. The outside
yeah,
chat.
yeah. Also, brother Magi Commander, I also want to mention to brother Shaka and
Hmm.
everybody else, me and
Hmm.
brother, me and brother Magi Commander go, we go way back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
facts.
he comments on my page, and I remember your videos
Yeah.
that you bank, that you, when you destroyed the, that pseudo and that racist called Sal Assassin. Yeah,
South
Sal
Assassin.
Assassin. Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, so
that was
yeah, man,
too
we go.
funny, bro.
Yeah, man, we go. We go way back. We are the
Right.
originators of putting an end to these to these lying racists who try to promote their Caucasian Egypt lie.
Facts.
Racists such
I
as
needed his. I can't even
yeah,
lie, bro. I needed his head, bro. I needed his
yeah,
skull, bro. I couldn't lie. I had to have him, bro. He was lying
yeah,
too much.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
yeah, man. You destroyed them too, man. I remember those videos, man, and the other racists and the frauds such as Missy 5464 and
Missy and block him.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
I needed those skulls, bro.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. Their history, man.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah, well, brother. Before I let Afroasiatic speak, I want to thank brother Mark Money. He's made a donation via the super chat. Thank you for that, brother. And um, brother Kafra is having internet issues, but connection issues. I mean, but feel free to try to call in, so maybe you can get a chance to make your closing remarks as well. Brother Afroasiatic, I know you just came in, but please feel free to make your closing remarks.
Peace, Mac
Yes,
Money.
sir. Peace, peace, brother Shaka. Peace to the panel. Always a dignified panel over here.
Peace, bro.
But peace, uh, brother. The brother was speaking about upgrades and updating information. My thing is genetics, and we can utilize genetics as another tool. To assist us in getting a greater deal of insight in what was going on. I find it to be an effective tool myself. And I just encourage the brothers, to take a look at it because it tweaks the perspective a bit, especially on Kush, but thanks a lot, brother Shaka. Always honor, respect to the panel, respect, brother Shaka.
Thank you, brother Afroasiatic. Well,
I,
unfortunately, yes,
can I say something?
yes, go ahead, brother.
Brother Asiatic, I wanted to say the other day, man, I didn't get a chance to catch the live, but there was a situation where they, as far as the Hikakasu is concerned, that the Hikakasu wasn't an all-in invasion. It was more or less like an inside uprising because they had an influx of people who came in to work in Kemet. Most of them were female from the 11. Shaka, brother, have you seen the work on that? Do I need to get that link for anybody?
Well, I don't really know that particular detail about them being females, but it is said that indeed there was some people coming in. Some people mention mercenaries. Some people mention just foreigners settling in Kemet, and then
Yeah,
eventually,
yeah, they were coming to
yes,
work. Yeah,
yes. It is possible. The difficulty is that it's not easy to identify exactly who
yeah.
the Hyksos were. We kind of know that they built that city in avarice, and that indeed one of their um, they like it was said during the last live stream. I think it was Brother Hassan was saying that they worshipped Apep, or maybe one of
Yeah,
their ruler was called Apep, that the
yeah,
Greeks call Apophis. But
yeah.
when they were kicked out, they went towards the area of Syrio-Palestine,
Hmm.
and that's one of the reasons why many people think that it might be the place where they came from in the first place. Um, but if you have some information to share, always feel free. But I guess
I
we'll
actually
chance
have
to talk
tons
about
of it.
it, yes, in more detail the next time.
Yeah, I didn't mean to
So
start anything, but yeah,
no, I
they
understand. I understand. It's just like
yeah,
because like this evening, we don't really have much time because it's like
it's late.
11
Yeah, I know it's late.
11:30. Yeah, and I gotta work tomorrow. As a matter of fact, as I do those live streams more regularly during the week, usually I do them on the weekend. I
Yeah,
feel the I feel more and more tired every day basically. So
Understood,
we're
brother.
getting closer to
Understood.
midnight, I feel like my eyes are closing. But and I started late also this evening. I started quite late, but
Understood.
we'll definitely have
Uh,
time to talk about this. Yes.
okay, real quick. Okay, the reason why I brought that up was saying that in the genetics Afroasiatic, um, there may be pieces here and there of Western Asia in some people's genetics. Now, I'm not saying that okay, boom, that's where it came from, blah blah blah. But I'm just putting that little bit of information out there, and um, I will display the stuff that I have in the next live. Unless somebody know how to contact me in a third. Okay, so that's all I was saying.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, brothers. So, thank you for calling. It's a good look, brothers, that you're calling because, um, it's um, it's important for us to have a voice as non-Abrahamic believers. Most of us are, and a lot of our people are usually not exposed to information with different lenses, with different worldview. And earlier was
Hmm.
mentioned that uh, it was said earlier that even if they are presented with the facts, they just discard it, and that is because of the doctrine, the ideology. When people have a doctrine, um, they just go for it and try to defend it and try to stand by it by any means necessary, and
Hmm.
that is not the scientific method. The scientific method is to um, evaluate or assess the facts and then come with a conclusion. And usually, we're supposed to say what the data allows us to claim. But since most of our people are Abrahamic, they just go by whatever their books say. But I'm pretty confident that we'll get some clarity over time. And I really like the fact that the brothers who call on this platform, they are diplomatic, and it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing. It's going to be helpful to reach our people, because slowly but surely, this is progress. To me, this is progress. This fact of us being able to connect, I just wish that we have more people, more sisters as well, and more people from different places. But this will definitely grow. This will definitely grow. So, brothers, thank you once again for calling. It's a very good look for you to do that. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments in the chat, for the also the donations, and I'm really looking forward to hear from you the next time. So I'm saying to all of you brothers, stay safe, stay healthy, and if I'm allowed to, Brother Necheru, I would definitely holler back at you. Hotep.
Hotel.
Hotep. Link is in the private chat.
Okay, well, I will share it before I close out. So,
Right.
uh, there's one from Afroasiatic that I'm sharing now, and there's the one from oh no, my mistake here, and Xavier Ngzia as well joined us, and there's a link from from Majai Commander that I'm sharing in the chat. But did Hyksos invade Egypt? There it is. Thank you once again, brothers Senu, Dua, and Hotep.
Hotep, brother.
Peace. Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have